What's going on, guys? CTG Matt back. It has just been told to me that the Ringer dropped their updated top 100 again. We're here to react to it. I've reacted to I believe, every version of this list this year. We're not ending that now. Gonna get right into it. Like, subscribe to the channel. Simple stuff. We're on our way to 100. Let's make that happen. We're starting off with number 100, Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal had a very interesting season. He's still not a durable fella. I mean, you can see the injury concerns thing there. He doesn't fit in Phoenix. He never has, and he never will. The contract situation is very tough for him, but at least he has his no-trade clause, right? 99, we have Jordan Poole, which is a little bit lower than I thought it would be. Jordan Poole had a pretty good year with the Wizards. Ooh, this one's tough. Jalen Green fell a lot, and it makes sense because he has been, well, in the playoffs, he was just really ass. I won't sugarcoat it. He was awful in the playoffs, in every sense of the word, awful. Defensively, he's never really been a good defender. Offensively, he had one 38-point game, and he still only averaged 13 points per game. He dropped almost 40, I believe it was, in a game, and he averaged 13 in that series. Yeah, he was awful in the playoffs. I might take Jordan Poole over Jalen Green at this point, to be honest. At least Jordan Poole has a playoff track record. Jalen Duren, this is a fun spot for him. I didn't think I'd be seeing him here. Very good rebounder. Detroit's best big man, I'd say. Obviously, I mean, he starts, but Beef Stew's there. They're both really good, though. Jalen Duren, only 21 years of age, going into year 3. I mean, I'm not sure what he's going to want for a new contract when his is up, but he's been really good for the Pistons. He's much needed, good rebounder, and he dunks the ball hard. He's built crazy, he can defend well. I mean, that group, that center core they got in Detroit is kind of stacked, big guys. Herb Jones, defense, clamps, we know that. A 3-and-D guy, he can knock down his threes, though. You see shot blocking, off-ball, on-ball, and hustle. Jeez. Yeah, Herb is an all-defensive type of guy. He had a pretty good season this year when he played. The issue is similar to every Pelican. They don't play. They're not on the court. They traded for DeJounte Murray, who's been one of the more durable players in basketball since he's come in. And guess what happened in his first year? He played like 30 games. Yeah, the Pelicans are cursed. Dyson Daniels was right. But Herb Jones is a really good player when he's healthy. Tumani. Okay. I'm so down with this. Take a charge. Block some shots. I saw him block Jokic earlier this year. Like, he is very impressive on the defensive end. He's been able to knock down his threes not more recently, but like obviously over the course of the season. I think he put up a career high from three-point land. If he can knock down his threes, he's already an elite defender. I mean, this guy could realistically make an all-defense team, and he can help Portland's building something. I like what Portland had cooking this season. Playoff riser, I guess. He looked really good in the playoffs. He beat the Celtics by himself, essentially. Not trying to throw digs at Jalen Brunson, but I'm not going to lie to you. They don't win that series without Mitchell Robinson. He caused havoc. And, yeah, he looked really good. Not against the Pacers. Looked pretty average against the Pacers. But Mitch definitely helped the Knicks in their conference finals run. He was probably, honestly, maybe their second best player. Like, Cat was very in and out. The one thing you could expect was Mitchell Robinson grabbing them boards all day. But, of course, as you could see, injury concerns. He missed a majority of the regular season. So, I mean, I don't know. Mitchell Robinson above Tumani Kamara, I'm not sure, but I'm not going to argue it. It's 94 versus 95. We move up. DB. Okay, he shot almost 40% from 3 this year, I'm pretty sure. He shot a pretty good percentage from 3. Always been a good defender. Solid player. I like Dylan Brooks. Vooch. Okay. Vooch in the back half of the season wasn't my favorite thing to watch. He seemed not locked in at all, and reasonably so. They were supposed to trade him. They never traded him, so he was probably pretty pissed and just stopped giving a shit. I don't blame him. I wouldn't care either. I wouldn't give two you-know-whats if they kept me in Chicago on a 25-win team with P. Giddy. Neesmith, 91. Boy, if you told me Aaron Neesmith would be a top 100 player in the NBA 4 years ago, 5 years ago, bullshit. I'd have said that right to your face. When he came out of college, he was considered the best shooter in the draft, and he couldn't shoot in Boston. He just couldn't. I don't know what was going on, but he lost his jump shot and just couldn't make a shot in Boston, right? And he goes to Indiana, and he finds a second home. He's going into year 4, so yeah. He was never really fit in Boston. He gets his chance in Indiana, and he has a breakout. He was always a hustle guy, though. Like, even if you go back and watch his tenure in Boston, you'd see plays of, like, him getting chased down blocks. Or he has a vertical a lot higher than I thought it would be. He's very I mean, he's the prototypical 3-and-D wing at this point in time. You know, very athletic, quick, obviously a movement shooter too. You don't just stick him in the corner. This guy can get plays run for him. Saw that in game 1 against the Knicks. He was coming off like 8 screens, it felt like, every time he got the ball. Oof. Gol Porge. I don't know how to feel about him. It feels like there's something in there. I don't know what it is. Podcast, bro. That's crazy. It feels like there's something left in the tank for PG when I think about him. But we did not see any of that this year. It felt like when he came back from the original injury, I don't even remember how his season went down, but it felt like toward the back half of his playing stint, because I know he got shut down at the end, he was better, but at the same time, he just got injured again. I'm pretty sure he missed the back end of the season anyways. Paul George is in a really interesting spot where he's getting paid mega millions, but he's also 35, about to be 36 probably, with plenty injury concerns over his entire career at this point. Paul George's injuries have been well documented, and he's getting paid a lot of money, and it's a long-term deal. I don't know. I feel like there's something in there, though. There's got to be something left in the tank with PG. P, from playoff P to playoff P. Peyton Pritchard had a really good season. One of the breakout candidates this year, one of the bigger breakouts of the season, I would say. Peyton Pritchard got to stay in Boston after requesting a trade them years back, and it paid off for him in a big way. Guy won 6th Man of the Year. He played incredible. He played great in the playoffs, too. Like, the games where the Celtics look good in the playoffs were the games Peyton Pritchard played well. You have Curry at home. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what it is. We run him around 100 screens, let him do what he's got to do. The one thing he needs to get better at is finishing and being able to finish at the rim. I understand he's a small guard who's relatively unathletic, so he's never going to be, like, banging out. But at the same time, what I'm asking for is get it off the backboard. If you know what I mean? Like, it's just a race to the backboard once you blow by your initial defender, especially where he works at the top of the key most of the time. Once you get past your initial defender, it's a race to the backboard. Just get it off the backboard. If they block it, it's a goaltend. You know, he just needs to get better at learning how to finish around the rim, because he can't just be one-dimensional and only take, deep threes. They'll just run him off the line, and he's pointless then. He's getting better at it, though. I can see that development coming. Tari and his mother, who's constantly angry on Twitter. No, I support her. She was a fun follow during the playoffs, don't get me wrong. He's a very good player. Tari Eason is a very good player. He had some good games in the playoffs against Golden State. He had his struggles, too. It's his first run in the playoffs, I believe. But I'm not sure if they're going to be using him as like a trade piece this summer. It'd kind of be sad if they did, because he's developed very well. Where was he picked? Does it say here? I feel like, 17th overall in 2022. Like, he's developed pretty well for a guy taken in the latter half of the first round, the back half of the first round. It was a really good pick. Tari Eason's had a good little rise here. Anthony Simons is a weird player to me. I don't know how injury concern is in here. I'm pretty sure he misses a bunch of time too. But Anthony Simons is a weird player to me. He gets buckets. He's one of those guys that they call ethical because he doesn't shoot free throws, doesn't go to the line very often. He will get 30, but it's very reliant on his jump shooting. I'm in the middle on Anthony Simons, where I see there's value in there, and he's a bucket for sure. But it's just, there's something about it, not shooting free throws, relying heavily on your jump shooting. It's interesting. He doesn't finish well, I don't believe, but knocking down his threes is huge. Mid-range, he worked the mid-range well this year too. Anthony Simons is a good player, don't get me wrong, but it feels like he's just a one-dimensional scorer, kind of like a Cam Thomas, but I don't know. There's parallels there in my mind. I don't know. It's like a blind spot on that player type where it's just buckets. Just buckets. It's Devin Vassell. He does the same thing. He was 3-and-D coming out of college, but now he does more than just 3-and-D stuff. He had a weird year as well, where it was like he wasn't great for a good bulk of it, but toward the back end he was all right, and I'm curious to see how he fits in a full season, especially with them getting another pick this year. Another top pick is what I meant. And I don't know, Devin Vassell is a weird player. I think he's a bench candidate, but I don't know how to I don't know. Devin Vassell is another one where it's like, yeah, he was drafted for 3-and-D, but he's more than that now. And it feels like he strives when he's given the ball more than like, hey, Devin, go sit in the corner. And I'm curious how that's going to work out with Wemby, Castle, Fox, you know what I mean? CJ CJ had a couple of big scoring games this year, big individual scoring games for CJ. I'm pretty sure he had like a 50 ball against Charlotte or something like that. I don't remember. But he had a couple of big scoring games this year, CJ McCollum. And again, it's just another one of those players. It's kind of like CJ McCollum was Anthony Simons before Anthony Simons. Just a straight up bucket who doesn't really take free throws and just a lot of pull up threes, a lot of coming around screen and shooting threes. You know what I mean? Like CJ McCollum is he's an undersized 2, kind of like Anthony Simons, even though he plays the 1, but he plays more like a 2. You know what I mean? CJ McCollum, injuries, again, it's New Orleans. Once you land there, I don't know what happens. The plane lands in New Orleans, and NBA players immediately start tearing ligaments. It's insane stuff. Holy shit. Whoa. 84. I don't know how to feel about this, because on one hand, yeah, injury concerns are nuts, and you're just never sure when he is or isn't going to play. But on the other hand, literally read the first 3 words. Former MVP winner. That was 2 years ago. 3 years ago? 2 years ago? I don't know. Year 8? He's not even a decade into the league. There's just no way. Yeah, that feels wrong. Joel has been through the ringer, and I don't mean the ringer, that's the list, but but Joel's been through hell and back when it comes with injuries. I was never a big fan of the guy when he was on the court, but at the same time, 84th, it seems a little bit excessive, unless you're really saying injuries are going to kill him and and take him off the court, unless injuries start to make him a 20-point per game guy. I don't know if I can rank him 84th, because I know when he plays, he's still going to do 30s every other game. You know what I mean? It's Joel Embiid. This is a really tough one because durability does factor into it. I can see what they mean. Brown. Okay, Christian Brown had a good playoff run. If he could knock down his threes at a higher clip, this guy he's going to get a big contract when it's up because he deserves it. He's amazing at what he does. Out in transition, this kid is a demon. When he gets out, athleticism. Yeah, no, I mean, he's an athlete that this is just a really interesting way of calling him white, but he has sneaky athleticism. Yeah. Christian Brown literally does have sneaky athleticism though. You watch him and you're like, okay, he's just 6'6" dude, you know what I mean? But then you watch him in the transition game, he's fast and he can out jump a lot of people. He posterized Rudy earlier this year, I believe it was. Was that last year? Christian Brown's had some big dunks. I'm a big Christian Brown believer. I gave him plenty of props at the beginning of the year. Go check out those videos from the beginning of the year. Boy, was I off on a few things. DeAndre Hunter, a guy whose stock as a player jumped tremendously this season. He had a kind of a glow up because there was a while where that contract he had with Atlanta was considered a bad deal. And now you look at it and it's like, $20 million for DeAndre Hunter. That's not that bad, He's taken a step up in his career, getting traded to Cleveland. Obviously, it gave him a chance to contend for something outside of Atlanta, and he got hurt. Injury concerns. I mean, it feels like that for every other player on this list. But DeAndre Hunter is a fantastic shot creator. He can score at every level too. Giddey, 81st is interesting because he had a really good back half of the season, like really good. Like he averaged almost a triple double for like a month. Right, Giddey had a good month-long, maybe more stretch of being the Bulls' best player and the guy that I don't know, him and Kobe were battling back and forth. Kobe White won a player of the month, so I don't know. But Giddey was a very good player this season for the Bulls. If he could shoot, he needs to shoot. Because right now, he's just Ben Simmons, right? An oversized guard, less athletic than Ben Simmons, worse defensively than Ben Simmons, but he can't shoot. He's just a really good passer. His float game's real nice. He gets in the lane, he can float well, but he doesn't out-jump people. I don't know how to feel about Josh Giddey. He had a really good back half of the year, so the Bulls are going to rock with him and let him be that big main piece. But at the same time, I don't know. I think him, Modest, Kobe is like a fun trifecta. I'm not calling that a big three. It's not even close. but it's a fun group of players. RJ. I was just looking at RJ stats like yesterday, maybe the day before, because I'm trying to figure out where I think the Raptors will stand in next year's standings. They're a very interesting team. They have some sneaky, really good pieces. I just don't know if they have the ball movers, per se. Like, Emmanuel Quickley is going to be their starting point guard, and as much as I like Emmanuel Quickley, he is not a big passer. Scotty Barnes might be their best assist man next year. I don't know how to feel about that. But RJ, his shooting took a step back from when he first landed in Toronto. I'm never sure about RJ Barrett's shooting because one year it's there, the next year it's not. One year it's there, the next year it's not. I don't know how to feel about RJ's shooting. Of course, he's a lefty, so he likes going left. I was going to say he likes going left. Yeah, he's a lefty. That makes sense. But RJ, I don't know. He's a really decent player. Just a decent player right now, and that's really all I can say about him. But they do have a million wings. Him, Scotty, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart. I don't know how to feel about this because there's times where Josh Hart is needed. You know what I mean? Josh Hart brings that energy to the Knicks that they need some games. Don't get me wrong. They need his rebounding too at times as well. But there's also times in that Indiana series, I don't know what was happening to him in that Indiana series, but he was lost in the sauce, my friend. I don't know what else to say about that, but his Indiana series was one of the worst I've seen from him. But he is a playoff riser when it comes to jump shooting, I've realized. He shot like a really good percentage in the playoffs this year. Maybe the Indiana series soured that. I don't remember how many. But I remember during the Celtics series, he was shooting like 40% in the playoffs. Nuts for Josh Hart. A playoff riser, but, you know, he's 30. Oh, my God. Yeah, we're old. Josh Hart, though, is a very fun player. You know, rebounding, gets out in transition. Got that dog in him, of course. And a playoff riser, in my opinion. Lou. Yeah, his high arcing threes that scrape the rafters and come down and land in the basket somehow. Every once in a while they do. I'm not going to say it like he normally hits threes. Far from it. But I like Lou Dort. He's much needed on OKC. A lot of size. That block he had the other night on Neesmith, I believe it was sick. He was up over him and came down and blocked it, sent it right back to the floor. It was a disgusting block. I know they lost that game, but that block is living rent-free in my mind. That was nasty. Nas is getting a bag. Potential GOAT. What? Nas is really good, though. He's just a bucket, man. And I got to respect him. He was part of the Jelly fam, and I was a big Jelly fam guy. You know, you come from New York, you're just a fan of the Jelly fam, right? Javon Quinterly was my guy growing up. Right, but Nas has become an elite NBA player, and he lost a lot of weight. I remember that during college. Still 264 listed. Damn, he's a big guy. But Nas was the much-needed spark off the bench for Minnesota this year in their conference finals run, and he was much needed in a sense. When Rudy Gobert was unplayable, you were able to roll with Nas. Nas did not look great in the Oklahoma City series. However, I'm not judging him on one series because he played so well in these playoffs before that series. And like I said, when Rudy's bad and you have the ability to plug Nas Reed in, absolutely insane tandem there they had. I'm not sure if they're going to have it next year because he has a player option, but for the years that he was there, Nas Reed was fantastic. I love me some Nas Reed. We all love Nas Reed. MT, another good player, you know. Nas Reed or MT, it's pretty close. I kind of like both. I feel like Miles Turner's a playoff riser too. The absolutely elite spacer. He banked in that three in the comeback. That banked in threes, man. They always get you. Cam Johnson. That's higher than I thought Cam Johnson would be, honestly. I didn't know if he'd be on this list. He had a pretty good year, don't get me wrong, but I felt like in Brooklyn, nobody really gave a shit. Understandably, they were not great. Intentionally not great, I'll add. But Cam Johnson was a guy that everyone thought was going to get traded. Never got traded. Obviously a 3-and-D demon, you know. Andrew Nembhard, you could argue he's higher. You check his averages during the regular season, and it's like the guy doesn't give a shit until the playoffs start. It's incredible. He could be higher. Mike Porter Jr. I might take Andrew Nembhard over Mike Porter Jr. I don't know if that's a hot take or not. They call him an unsung hero. I call him an in-and-out god. And what I mean by that is he's very in or out. It's either you're getting great Mike Porter or you're getting unplayable Michael Porter. He hurt his shoulder, so I can't judge his playoff run too much because that'd be unfair. But he's an in-and-out shooter. He's a shooter. That's what he is. He's a shooter. and he doesn't pass the damn ball. Galaxy brain, extremely online. What the hell does that mean? BI. We're just talking about BI. He missed so much time this year. I don't even want to talk about it because he just missed a lot of time. He didn't even play after the trade, I don't think. I don't think he played a single game in Toronto. Have to see how that goes. Kobe. We were just talking about him too. High volume bucket. You know, he can get a bucket from anywhere. I wish he won that play-in game, but he struggled bad in the play-in game. They looked bad against Miami, I believe it was. However, Kobe White still deserves some respect for what he did this season. I think he had did he have a player of the month, or was it just a couple of player of the weeks? Either way, Kobe had a pretty good back half of the season. I would like to see him do it all year, next year, maybe, please, because he's done that a couple of years now where he turns it up in the back half of the year, and it's like, okay, I mean, congrats, but you know what I mean? You don't get, I don't know. You're not going to make the playoffs because you stunk it up in the beginning, blah, blah, blah. Oh, boy. What do you do with the guy with AIDS? I have no idea. He's a tough one. Is Porzingis okay? Yeah, nobody knows. Nobody knows. And he looked awful in the playoffs because of it. The jump shot wasn't going down from mid-range. He was telling the coaches, I can't go anymore. I'm pretty sure that they zoomed in on him at the bench after he checked out during the last game of the Knicks series, and he was like, I can't go. I can't go. Like, I don't even know anymore. Can he play? Because if he's going to be tired after 15 minutes a game, I'm sorry, you're just not going to be in the NBA anymore. You can't play 15 minutes a night on the contract he gets and how bad he played. You got to hope that rest helps him, but if the rest ain't saving him, and if he comes back next year still talking about this illness, bro, it might just be over. You're talking about a guy who could potentially be over. Like, his career could be done soon if this upper respiratory shit isn't figured out, because it's taking a toll on his career. He's looked awful since the diagnosis. Drew, okay. I'm going to fly through these a little bit quicker. Zach LaVine, he's getting paid a lot of money next year, and he's next to his teammate. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know why they did this. The Kings are an awful run team. Jaden McDaniels, I love me some Jaden McDaniels. He is an unsung hero. You talk about unsung heroes, he is. When he is working, the Timberwolves are working, it seems. I swear to you. The Timberwolves always look 10 times better when J-Mac is cooking. You can't say J-Mac because then people think I'm talking about Jordan McLaughlin. Isaiah Hartenstein, still playing. Good rebounder, off-ball defense. Okay, sure. But he's an excellent rebounder. Little floater, lefty floater in the lane. Beautiful shot. He always makes it feels like. Fred, we getting first 3 games of the Warriors series, Fred, or last 3 games of the Warriors series, Fred? I know it was a 7-game series, blah, 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 but Freddie was in and out. He always is in and out. He relies on a lot of tough shots. When the tough shots ain't falling, it looks kind of gross. Freddie's a good leader, though. Much needed, because when he was out this season, they looked lost in Houston. AC Fresh. We like AC Fresh around here. We love all hustle guys. He's sneaky athletic too. Again, I'm just calling him white. Alex Caruso is a fan favorite. He is. Remember when didn't he skip his wedding for a finals game? Like that's dog right there. He should have the that dog in him badge. He skipped his sister's wedding for Christ's sake. Ooh, Jalen Suggs. I guess it's because I didn't get to see him the back half of the season much because he got hurt and tear his ACL. Was it tear ACL? It was a bigger injury. And he missed a lot of the back half of the season. Lucky guy. I will not go any further. Lucky guy, that Jalen Suggs, I tell you what. Denny Avdia. I thought he'd be higher, but also I wasn't sure if he'd be lower. It's a guy who I think can be higher, but if he wasn't, you know what, I'm okay with this placement, honestly. Denny had a great year. Mikal Bridges. I'm taking Denny Avdia over Mikal Bridges. Sorry. Mikal had a good playoff, not a great playoffs, a decent playoffs. I thought this guy would be higher, Dyson Daniels. I thought maybe he'd be higher. Okay. Norm. Okay. Norm's home road splits in the playoffs were kind of jarring to look at, but if you look at his regular season ones, they were fine, home road splits. But again, he had a career revitalization this year without Kawhi Leonard. You know, him and Harden just got the time to run, and he ran. I like what Norman Powell did this year. I'm shocked Dyson Daniels isn't higher, though. That's the one guy I thought that everyone would value higher. He's just really good defensively. I mean, that's just what he is. 3 steals a game, demon. Jarrett Allen should be falling. His playoffs were awful. He looked lost a lot in the playoffs, dude. That 9 rebound or that 9.4 rebound game or whatever that he be posting he does that multiple times a week. There's multiple times. If you take a 4-game stretch Jared Allen will give you 2 good games. That's just Jared Allen. I don't know. I love the guy for what he is, but man, he is frustrating because there's times where I want him to be aggressive, and he's just not, Trey, real stroker. I like Trey Murphy. That's a good spot for Trey Murphy. Rudy G, heartbreaking. That's crazy. I'm just laughing at the heartbreaking thing because that story that came out of what he did pre-playoffs, kicking out his wife and kid. Maybe their vibe was off. Anyone ever think of that? Next up, we got Austin Reeves. AR. Properly rated scorer and playmaker. I don't know. I might take Trey Murphy over Austin Reeves. I might be crazy, but I think I'd do it. Larry Markkinen. Didn't expect him to be this high with how kind of bad he was this year. Julius Randle had a good playoffs, decent playoffs. Tyler Hero had a great year. Changed his shooting profile and had a pretty good year. He's going to be getting a bag, someone said. I think there was rumors he was getting a bag. Sure, why not? Miami's got no one else to pay. Draymond Green. Okay, that's fair. LaMelo Ball. I thought he'd be lower. You see? Injury concerns is just what gets me about LaMelo. Also, efficiency. Also, we have never seen him on a good team before, so I don't know. His shot chart and the shots he takes are kind of nasty. Sometimes, all things considered, I'm talking. The games where he's taking 1-foot jump shots, leaning backwards, they're bad shots. I don't care if they fall once in a while. You watch his game day in and day out, and there's some shots that are just awful. But also at the same time, I don't want to dump it all on him because of the fact that he's playing with a bunch of sorry bums for teammates half the time. Like Vasil Micic was his second best player at some moments. But injury concerns also are there. I don't know. Jalen Johnson, he got hurt. He missed the back half of the year this year as well, I believe. He's progressed crazy quickly. I'm surprised he wasn't the most improved player candidate for a little bit, but he is size at 6'9" is unbelievable. He's able to get to the basket. He rebounds relatively well. He had a bunch of double-doubles this year, I'm pretty sure. D-Bane, I have a very hot take about Desmond Bane I will save for another video. Scotty Air Barney. Scotty could be higher, in my opinion. Zion right above him. Injury concerns. Where is it? Right there. Yep. Zion. He has the highest double-teamed percentage in the league, I'm pretty sure. But again, he doesn't stay on the court. And also that off-the-court stuff. I almost forgot about that. What is he doing? I don't want to be that guy, but there's a chance that he will be getting Tony Busby's on his line pretty consistently. Zion, though, good player. I just don't know what to say. That off-the-court stuff is getting a little bit weird. I don't know what to say about that. Let's keep it moving. Kyrie, injury concern. Dude, how many players is that with injury concern? I swear to God, at least 10. Kyrie, missed the back half of the year. Kyrie's just Kyrie. Y'all know what he is. He's in year 13. If you don't know who Kyrie is, I don't know what to tell you. This is a tough spot, too. Injury concern. There's another one. Oh, my God. We're breaking records out here, baby. Of course, deep vein thrombosis. Was that what it was or whatever? Yep, deep vein thrombosis. Yep, that's tough. Blood clots. What are you going to do, Aaron Gordon could, I don't know if I can make a case that he should be higher than Dame, because Dame is very good, but at the same time, Aaron Gordon had a crazy good playoff run. I would put him above Dame. Very good size, can guard big men, can guard guards as well to an extent. Shot really well from 3 this year and the free throw line. His shooting jumps were crazy good this year. Proud of what Aaron Gordon's become. Amen. That's fun. That's really fun. Amen and OG. The prototype and the original, except the men's 10 times more athletic. OG is a decent player, but Amen is so special in what he can do in the future. You look at it and it's just all potential right now. You're hoping that he reaches his peak. I don't know. I worry about the Twins being more injured because they are very athletic. You know what I mean? That type of athleticism is just nuts to see. These guys are once in a generational athletes, just pure athletes. So fast. They're strong. And I'm saying they because they're them. Men and Osar are very similar, excellent transition players, and can jump out of the gym and can defend anybody. Just insane player archetypes they are. OG Kobe Bryant, the awful Kobe Bryant, he takes so many bad shots on offense, just fadeaways and free throw line. It's what are we doing, OG? Get your ass behind that line. I don't know. Tyrese Maxey, again, he missed a lot of time this year too. Tyrese Maxey did have a good year though, all things considered, when he was there. But that's the thing, is that he wasn't always there because Philly, the entire team wasn't there. Derek, my GOAT, there's rumors they might trade him, and if the Celtics trade him, I'm going to be very upset. Not because it's not predictable. It's very predictable that they could trade him, and it would not shock me. But man, would that hurt, because he's so good. Knocks down his threes when you need him. He makes clutch shots, it feels like. Gets into the lane. He can finish at the rim. He's not uber athletic, but he can jump. He can jump with people. And, of course, he's the best shot-blocking guard in the NBA. I will stand on that because he just is. He might be leaning toward becoming one of the best shot-blocking guards of all time, but that's a different conversation. I'm going to be upset when they inevitably trade Derek White. I'm going to be so, so sad. Franz, if Franz didn't have that, I don't even know how to describe it, a broken jump shot. I don't even want to say there's a hitch in it because top to bottom, it is disgusting. It's broken, all right? Franz is a great player, though. Can pass, can finish, can shoot the mid-range. He can't allow himself to be guarded by centers. That Celtics series, they were sticking Luke Cornett on him and just saying, have fun, buddy. And he was struggling because he has that ugly-ass, hitch in his jumper. I just don't like it. LP had a good playoffs. He is a very big body language guy. I'm rewatching some of that series, that Rockets-Warriors series. He is so body language heavy, where it's like if he doesn't get the ball in the spot that he wants, he will be like, and it's like, yo, fucking chill, dude. I saw there was one play in game 6 or 7 where Freddie got a long defensive rebound, and took a transition 3, and Alperin was rolling down the lane. Freddie took that transition 3. You saw Alperin go like that, put his hands up why? And it was like, yo, I don't know, man. You got to relax, bro. It's your teammates. Trust them. Even if the 3 doesn't fall, go get a fucking rebound. I don't know. There's just some things about his body language that don't rub me the right way, but he is a fantastic player. He's baby Jokic. Zoo, 35th. The big Zoo respect is making me happy because he does so many things well. He rebounds the damn ball. He's a paint protector. He finishes well at the rim. He can do a little floater, but he's so big he doesn't ever really need the floater. He just puts his body into people and yams on them. Of course, you got to take it with a grain of salt, though, because James Harden gets centers paid. That's what James Harden has done his whole career, is get centers paid. But Zoo is still so talented, and their defense is not the same without Zoo on the floor. Fantastic player. John Morant, tough one. Where's his injury concerns thing? Because he has them too. Of course, when he's on the court, he's fantastic. Off the court stuff with him has calmed down, so I don't even want to talk about it. But Ja, when he's on the court, is much, much needed. I mean, you saw what happened when he got hurt in that playoff game 3 or whatever. I mean, they're up 30, and all of a sudden he goes down and they lose. And that's where that game is kind of where my Desmond Bane hot takes are spawning from. But again, different conversation. John Morant, though, when he's on the court, is just so much fun. And I've told my friends before, they'll be on the fence about buying League Pass, and I'll be like, yo, I'm telling you right now, buy League Pass just to watch the Grizzlies when Ja is playing. It's a show. That off his ass pass, the lob to Santi that he threw earlier this year, I think that was against Brooklyn. Maybe, I can't remember. He had a couple of highlights against Brooklyn this year, but that off his ass pass to Santi Aldama for a lob was it's such a beautiful play, man. Trae Young, Ja Morant debate, tough one. If you really had to do it, I don't know. Trae Young's a weird one to grade too. His defense isn't all that bad. It's bad. Don't get me wrong. It's not. His defense is not good. He's not a net positive. Fuck no. But he is getting better, it seems. Bam Adebayo had a rough year. I don't know how to feel about him. DeMontis, I never know how to feel about Sabonis either because he's a guy in the playoffs that just hasn't had the same success. You look at his playoff numbers, there's definitely a drop-off. I'm not sure about Domas, especially as a championship. You know what I mean? If you want to be a serious championship team, I don't know if your 5-man can be Domas. Jimbo, man, he took a jump this year. If I had to go back to their last year's rendition of this list, I don't know, where would James Harden be? Probably 50, somewhere around there. He had a great year with the Clippers. Game 7 against Denver, just left the nastiest taste in my mouth for this Clippers season, even though it was a net positive for what they wanted to do. Jamal, I mean, yeah, a godlike playoff run. That's just what it is. He does get injured quite a little bit, but when Jamal is locked in, early in the season he was awful. We can acknowledge that. First 30 games, Jamal Murray was terrible, but it doesn't really impact him come playoff time. We've learned that. Darius, I don't know about this one. I might take Jamal over Darius. I might take James over Darius. I might take Bam Adebayo over Darius. I might take Trae Young over Darius Garland. I don't know. I like DG. Maybe it's because of the system he plays in. It's more of a balanced approach offensively. But Darius Garland he should have injury concerns too, because he missed big playoff games because of a toe. All right. So that's such an unserious injury. I don't know. Either way, Chetster, he looked bad in game 1, tell you that much. But Chet has had a good playoff run, and not bad. It's not great. He had a bad series against Jokic, it felt like, but against Minnesota, he looked really good as well. I don't know. De'Aaron Fox is higher than I thought he would be. Jaren Jackson finally getting the respect that I've been saying Jaren Jackson is amazing the entire season. Do I think like he's the guy that they should build around? Nope. But I do think that every team in the league would love to have a Jaren Jackson Jr. You know, obviously he's a shitty rebounder. Let's just come right out and say it. If he got 8 rebounds a game, it would blow my mind. But his spin move, so he's a right-handed player, I believe, but he loves to spin left and finish with the left. He loves to get in the lane, and he has the float game badge. You can tell he loves his floaters. He can also shoot the 3 a little bit. He has a very good offensive skill set. He plays closer to this is going to sound crazy. He plays close-ish to Giannis, where it's like, give me the ball at the free throw line, I'll isolate, and I'll go get a layup. It's not Giannis, obviously, because he's not shoulder dunk. It's not his game, but it's very much, I'm going to get in the lane and get 2. Jimbo, he needed to do more in the playoffs. I'm sorry. Pascal Siakam, he could go higher, honestly, because of this playoff run. If we're doing playoff runs, Pascal's had a crazy good playoff run. Game 1 against the Knicks, he looked lost, and for a while he looked lost. And was it Gilbert Arenas who said he never got better, and then he goes on to dominate the conference finals? Different conversation. PB, that's my guy. Very high. I respect that. JB, 21's a fair spot for Jaylen Brown. Like, very fair in my opinion. I might take Paolo over him. Different conversation. J-Dub is higher than I thought he would be. He was, how do I describe this? He was very underwhelming he's been very underwhelming in the playoffs for me, honestly. But he did make all defense and all NBA. Did he really? Making his first all-star NBA and all defense teams. I didn't know he made all defense. Good for J-Dub, but these playoffs have not been kind to him. Devin Booker, lower than I thought. How is he shit stir? What does he do? I don't know. Devin Booker is a fun player to watch, though, when he's on. It's just the Suns have him in this be a point guard mode. When I don't want, me personally, as a selfish fan, stop with this Devin Booker assist guy. No. I want Devin Booker to give me 30s every night. That's what I want out of him. Cat, too high. Just too high. I'm sorry. Too high, in my opinion. Emob, fun. I like the spot. I kind of like the spot for him. All defense type guy. Defensive player of the year, literally the winner, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, he fits. Cade getting the respect I've been saying. I've been saying since their original list. They had him at like 45 in the first rendition of this list, and I was like, that's fucking ridiculous. And he shot up the list, rightfully so. That's my guy. I don't know what we're doing here. I mean, injury concerns doesn't even begin to describe Kawhi Leonard. He played 30 games. You combine that with the playoffs, he played 40 total last year. He played a half a season plus the playoffs. You know, I don't know. Really weird one, but his playoff numbers were crazy good. I don't know, man. I don't know. He made it through the playoffs healthy, yeah, but he didn't really win the series. And they looked awful in Game 7. Maybe, like I said, that Game 7 left an awful taste in my mouth for the season for them, considering they got beat in Game 7. Not just beat, I mean beat. KD. Of course, that's kind of where he belongs. Let's see where he ends up this summer. Should be a fun trade sweepstakes. Anthony Davis at 13. That's fun. He's higher than I thought he would be, honestly. But when he, again, injury concerns, it's, again, player number 20 with the injury concerns tag. When he's on the court, AD's AD, bro. I'll never, ever talk bad about Anthony Davis because I'm a Kentucky basketball fan, and that's the greatest player I've ever seen in college in my lifetime at Kentucky. LeBron, that's fun. Million years old, still a top 15 player in the league. That's so nuts to me. Of course, in the playoffs, he struggled as well, but I don't know. They got him playing the 4 and the 5 when he's 40. Stop. Lakers need a center so bad. Vic. I guess I haven't seen him in a while because deep vein thrombosis. I haven't seen him in a while, but I would say he's a top 15 guy area. Who is this? Whoa. What? I mean, there's just no way. Is it just the injury? An unfortunate case of bad luck amid what had been one of the best playoff performances of Tatum's career. He ruptured his Achilles in Game 4. Okay. It won't be back next calendar year. Opted to go through surgery immediately, blah, blah, blah. But there's no telling how long it'll take for Tatum to have full confidence in his body and resume playing at a top 5 caliber. There's no telling how much the league's landscape might shift around him in the interim. Okay. So this list is for next year? I don't know, because if this list is for next year, if this list is based on this season, the playoffs included, there's just no way you can put Jason Tatum at 10. No way on God's green earth can he be 10th, unless you're saying this is for next year. Because if it's for this year, again, well, we're already grading on this year. I don't know what more you want from Jason Tatum. Danny Chow, I'm going to come right out and say it. You're fucking wrong here, buddy. Yeah, that's just wrong. 9. Okay. All right. Okay. Jalen Brunson had a good playoffs. Don't get me wrong. Pretty good playoffs. But I don't know. How much do you value a high-volume scorer against a guy who literally does everything correct? I mean, you look at points. Tatum averaged more points. Oh, assists, 7.3 to 6. Oh, it's only one more assist. 8.7 rebounds. They don't even list Jalen Brunson's rebounds. That's how not enough he gets. And, of course, Tatum has a lower three-point percentage because he takes 10 per game compared to 6. I think there isn't a thing Jalen Brunson does better than Jason Tatum. There is not one skill set Jalen Brunson has that is better than Jason Tatum's. I will live and die on that hill. I don't care what a Knicks fan has to say. There is not a singular thing on a basketball court Jalen Brunson does at a better level than Jason Tatum. Maybe mid-range scoring. Congratulations, DeMar. Defending, it's not even close. You could say there's a gap offensively, but again, Tatum averaged more points, so that kind of shits on that fallacy anyways. But you could say there's a gap offensively. If the gap offensively is this big, the gap defensively is mountains. Fucking mountains, Danny Chow. You're wrong. I'm sorry. Again, that's wrong. Donovan Mitchell, I respect the hell out of, though, because he's a guy who will go out there, hurt, and give you 40 regardless. But again, I don't think there's a single statistical category. I don't think there's a single thing on the court Donovan Mitchell does better than Jason Tatum other than finishing. And that's a big skill, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I don't know what we're doing here. Donovan Mitchell's a fantastic player, though. I like him at 8. Tyrese, sure, he's had a great playoff run. Is this just the playoff runs, I'm guessing? It's got to be just about playoff runs. It can't be anything else. Tyrese had a fantastic playoff run, though, and they might win the finals, bro. With how good they looked in Game 1, shit, they might win the finals. Well, they didn't look good in Game 1. I'll phrase it by saying that. They did not look great in Game 1 for a majority of it, and they won. That's just what Indiana does. Okay. This got to be projecting for next season or something, because Anthony Edwards did have a good playoffs, but that conference finals, again, he was awful. And you could say, well, Tatum struggled in the Knicks series. This guy struggled in the conference finals, so they both had a struggle bus of a series and got sent packing. I don't know. Anthony Edwards is a great player, don't get me wrong. I don't know. Leave it down in the comments, Timberwolves fans. Do y'all want him taking, how many threes per game did he take? 10.3. I mean, he shot him at 39.5%. If you're going to make it at that clip, keep launching them bad boys. But, of course, people always talk about, well, it makes you one-dimensional, blah, blah, blah. Steph, that's fun. Top 5 at 37. That's incredible stuff right there. I don't know if I would take... You know what? Yeah, why not? I'd take Steph over Halliburton. That's a close gap. Really close gap. I don't know. That one's a debate. Luka. Sure. Yeah, sure. No holes in his offensive game. He just needs to be in shape, and he's a fantastic player. But Luka Doncic in shape is becoming the new, I don't know, when Ben Simmons gets a jumper. You know, it's a tough one. Luka, though, is a fantastic player when he's on the court. Giannis, Shea, Nikola. Yeah, for this year, yeah, I'd say Shea because he got the MVP. But Giannis at 3 is crazy considering, I don't know, he is so good. I think it's at the point where he's almost underrated, but that's crazy to say because he's at 3 here. 3 is a fair ranking. Top 3 player in the league easily, not even close. Shea deserves it. Shea had MVP this year. And then Jokic is just the best player in the NBA. We know that. Jokic is 1, and I don't think anyone's going to be moving him off 1 anytime soon because he's just so important. And the on-off numbers are always glitchy for him. You know, he's a my career player. He's a my career guy. You know what I mean? Like, this is a my player. You can't convince me otherwise. That's it for the rankings. Shout out once again to Danny Chow, I think, Ryan Russillo, and some of the other boys who put this list together. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, simple stuff. I'm going to catch the game. See you guys in the next one.